I feel like he did wait up. Like why do you
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Not sleep so much?
And you know what? Reddit thinks he's an asshole, and so do I. Because it's just like you don't.
I don't care what people say. We both know I couldn't change you. I guess you could say the same. Can't rearrange truth. I've never seen someone lie like you do. So much even you start to think it's true. Ooh, get me out of this loop.
Hey guys,
welcome back to another video. So in this video we'll be reading, well, it's an Am I the video, but not all of them are Am I the like some of them are just
situations.
Yeah,
where
we're gonna be responding and reacting. Yeah. Yep.
Let me get cozy.
Y'all can get cozy too.
Yeah. Am I the for ruining my friend's vacation? I, female 38, just got back from a vacation with two of my longtime friends, Kate, female 40, and Mary, female 38. I've known them both since university and we've always been close. The three of us have been planning this Bali trip for a few months, along with our husbands and their kids. They both have children under 5, while my husband Jake, male 45, and I are child-free. We agreed to split the cost of a 4-bedroom villa 3 ways, and everything seemed fine at first. Jake and I arrived in Bali earlier than the rest of the group because we had different flights. Once we got to the villa, we waited to choose rooms with our friends and didn't mind when they both chose the ones with en-suites. We had a great time during the trip. Jake and I did some couple activities, massages, hiking, dinners. But we also spent time with Kate and Mary and their families, whenever it worked for everyone. To be nice, I even surprised them with massages to give them a break. The only thing that made me uncomfortable was that whenever I ordered a drink, a cocktail before dinner, or a glass of wine with meals, I'd get comments like, "Oh, you're drinking again?" For context, I'm a social drinker, and I don't drink often. But when we're on vacation and I didn't think it was a big deal, especially since our husbands were drinking too, I just ignored the comments so I could enjoy the trip. On the last night, Jake and I made plans with the guys to go out, and Kate and Mary said they were staying in to pack. Jake convinced me to join him, and since it was the last night of our vacation, I didn't want to stay in either. We went out and had a great time. We got home at 1 a.m. and I passed out straight after. The next morning was a bit chaotic with everyone packing and checking out. But we all made it back home without issue. We had booked business class seats back, so we were separated during the flight and said quick goodbyes at the airport. A week after returning home, I got a long text from Kate saying that, I hate when people send paragraphs. I hate when people send paragraphs. Okay, let me get back. A week after returning home, I got a long text from Kate saying that both she and Mary wanted to reduce contact with me because I had ruined their vacation. They mentioned several things like me drinking every night, that I wasn't acting like a girl's girl, that I booked different flights, didn't hang out with them enough, and that I was selfish for not helping with their kids. She even said I was just focused on partying and not acting my age. Ooh. This message really hurt me. I cried after reading it, and I honestly don't know what to think. I thought I was just enjoying my vacation, but clearly they had a different view. I haven't responded yet, and my husband has been asking what's bothering me, but I don't know what to say. Am I the how I acted during the trip?
No, you're not.
No,
you're not.
They're jealous. They're jealous that they had to bring their kids.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just about to say that like they can't do certain things now that they're in that part of their life. But it's just like, if you weren't happy being a parent, then you shouldn't have done it. And then it's just like, you can still be friends with people who don't have kids.
Yeah.
Like, they're just jealous because you can drink anytime, you can go out anytime, like.
Not they try to make it seem like you had a drinking problem.
Right.
Yeah, I am gonna have another glass. I am.
And then, them saying that, like, you're selfish for not helping them with their kids. Like,
These are your kids or mine.
right.
That you chose to bring them, not me.
Right. Because they could have stayed home with a babysitter.
And it seems like y'all husbands were enjoying themselves. Like they didn't. It seemed like it was just the moms dealing with the kids. Maybe.
Yeah, I hate
You
things
should
like
have
that.
thought about that.
Yeah, I hate things like that too. Like, why aren't you mad at your husband for not helping out?
Next time, pick a better partner. Okay.
Yeah, she's definitely not that.
No, like they were a big mad on that trip, and I know Kate and Mary were talking to each other in their little rooms, like, oh, she's being such a like, I'm not a girl's girl because y'all have kids and I don't. Ridiculous. No, I'm not that.
Am I the for backing out of my best friend's wedding 2 weeks before the big day? We are older. Kitty, 42 female, and I, 40 female, have been friends since elementary school. When she first got engaged, she contacted me immediately, letting me know that she wanted me to be her maid of honor. Long story short, this guy had been in trouble with the law before, and they had actually met when she was at a halfway house, as she had been leaving a bad living situation and felt that she needed out. Several months after they'd been engaged, he got arrested for theft, and I think he explained that away as he wanted to get her a nice ring. She decided to stick with him, even though he spent the next 3 years in jail. Her family immediately disliked the guy after finding out that he was in jail, and during these years, I tried on multiple occasions to tell her to put some space between the two of them, and that he should need to work hard to earn her trust back after all of this. She felt abandoned by her family, so I did my best to give her support. She is deeply religious and believes that he deserves a chance, which is true, but forgiveness doesn't mean that you should trust that person right away. So when he got out of jail and she started planning for the wedding right away, I was concerned. I can understand that as a 40-something woman who still wants children, and that dream seems to be getting harder as the years pass. I myself have never been married, so I get that. The wedding planning has kind of been a disaster, with Kitty not making decisions about anything, saying that she doesn't want to be a bridezilla, and I have been trying to help get everything finalized. I live several states away and can't help as much as I wanted to. 3 weeks before the big day, she called all upset about hitting a deer. She explained that the car was ruined and that she was considering postponing the wedding. I bit my tongue and didn't tell her what to do, and instead tried to help her think through pros and cons. But by the end of the call, I realized that she actually was asking for money. She ended the call telling me that she actually didn't know how she was going to get home, as she didn't have money for gas, and that her fiancé had been parked with the car in the parking lot all day while she had been at work. Apparently the car was...
Wait, her husband had what?
Her fiancé had been parked with the car in the parking lot all day while she had been at work. Apparently the car was drivable enough to get her to work that day. Kitty is a teacher and doesn't make a lot of money, but that just means that she probably should have postponed things in order to save up. I've given Kitty money before when she's gotten herself in a tight spot, but this was different. I had already started to get suspicious about her fiancé and didn't feel comfortable just giving her money this time. But also details were not lining up. For example, why was the fiancé in the parking lot if she had hit a deer? She wouldn't have driven all the way to his place to pick him up just for him to sit there all day. They'd been sharing a car for a few months after his car broke down. After that call, she decided to change the location of her reception in order to save money. This was odd to me, since her father was paying for the reception, but she talked about pocketing the money that was going to be given for that. I told her to talk to her father about it before making the decision, and asked about her honeymoon and how she was planning on paying for that if she didn't even have money for gas. I was suspicious that she had lied about hitting a deer because details weren't making sense to me. So on the phone, I told her not to start covering for him. And she assured me that she would never do that. But the very next day, I found out that the fiancé had a ticket for failing to yield at a four-way, and there had been a crash, and there was $8,000 of property damage. The date of this crash was 2 days before Kitty had called me. Could it have been a coincidence, and she had hit a deer the day after his crash? Maybe. but I felt like she had started lying to cover for him. I became incredibly sad and decided to call her. I told her that I didn't appreciate being lied to and told her that if she was covering for him now, that it would only get worse after they were married. So I was out of the wedding and that I wasn't going to support her in this. That I was afraid that this was going to ruin her life. So am I the for deciding not to be the maid of honor and backing out of the wedding altogether?
No. Your friend sounds like a mess. Like, that sounds like a friendship that'll get you into problems.
Yeah. I don't think I could be friends with someone who, like, is in love with someone that's been to jail or, like, does things like that, because I feel like she would call me up when things are a mess and I would go to there to defend her and to be there for her, and then she'll end up defending him and try to be there for him. You know what I'm saying?
That could be a dangerous situation.
Yeah. Like if me and him got into a fight and the police are called, I'm the one that'll be going to jail because she's going to stick up for him. And so it's like things like that while like he's making her life a living hell.
And she's saying, oh, like she wants this wedding to happen so bad. She's getting old and she wants kids. Who are you having kids with? Because like that's going to be a whole nother issue. You're going to have him to deal with and a baby.
Yep.
And you don't have any money.
It sounds like you already have a kid now.
Yeah. You got $8,000 you have to pay because of what he did. You don't have money for a wedding or a honeymoon. Stop.
Yeah.
And you too old, actually. How old is she again?
40.
You're 40. Too old. You're too old.
Yeah.
She's too old.
I think she was lying when she said she ran over a deer. I think she was covering for her man. So, no, you're not the I'll remove myself completely. I hope the wedding is canceled.
Am I the for telling my little sister she's insane for taking the door off of her daughter's bedroom door as punishment?
Yes.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
Yep.
Let's see. I, 34 female, told my little sister, 32 female, that she was turning into our mentally unstable mother and was ruining her relationship with her daughter. You better listen. Listen to your sister. Sydney, 12 years old, just like our mother did with us. For context, Sydney is a really good girl. She's homeschooled, very sheltered, heavily involved in Girl Scouts,
etc.
Yeah, etc. I'm laughing because, like, who is in Girl Scouts for real? Like, that's mad funny.
They're obviously not from this neighborhood.
I know, but that's mad funny. Like, I won't buy your cookies. Girl Scout cookies are not that good to me. But I've
never tried them.
There's nothing to write home about. My sister controls literally every aspect of her life. Sydney has been acting out lately. Example, saying no to chores and refusing to cooperate. Something I think is pretty normal for this age. I have 4 kids, 3 of which have gone through puberty. It's obvious to me Sydney is acting out as a way to establish some independence and doesn't have the tools to be able to express this need to my sister. Defiance is obviously something that needs to be addressed, but I think my sister would have a much better outcome with a compassionate conversation with Sydney. I know it's not my place, but I believe with my whole heart that it's time for her to let Sydney know she is so proud of her and trust her to do the best to make good choices, and is going to be giving her more freedoms to positively reinforce her good choices, not the opposite. Also, 2 days after this whole ordeal, Sydney started her first period. So I know this was all likely a hormonal surge and should have been met with compassion, not anger and punishment. Anyway, Sydney didn't want to go to Girl Scouts. She had to compete against the other girls, sprinting I think, for a badge, and was too embarrassed at the thought of losing. So she flat out refused to go. My sister was so upset with her. She didn't ask her why she didn't want to go. She just became really heated and things somehow escalated to the point where my sister took away all of Sydney's privileges. Electronics, phone, even books. And told her she was only allowed to leave her bedroom to go to the bathroom. The next day, when my sister was bringing Sydney her lunch, she caught her reading and my sister lost her mind. And my sister lost her mind. She threw Sydney's lunch on her bed and said the next step is calling the police. And trust me, your treatment here is far better than the treatment you'll receive in jail. That's nasty. Sydney responded through tears. Okay, call them. So my sister walked away while pretending to call the police. When she came back, she removed Sydney's door from her bedroom and said that the police told her to do that. You're lying. They didn't. Okay. To do that first, and the next step was jail. I honestly feel like this is borderline abusive. My sister and I have always been very close and promised to let each other know if we're turning into our mom. I did that, and now she's not talking to me. Am I the Should I just let her parent the way she sees fit, even if it's going to destroy her relationship with her kids and with me?
You're not the
I promised to keep it a stack with each other, and she can't handle it now.
Yeah.
Like, you're turning into our mother.
Those type of
I'm
things
trying to
are
help you.
always like baffling to me, because growing up, like with your siblings and cousins, like you have conversations about how like we're not gonna turn out like our parents, like we want to do better,
Mm-hmm.
and then you grow up and like you all turn out so differently from each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like one sister can like clearly see like this isn't the way to go, while the other sister turned out just like their parents, or maybe even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's so crazy to me how like you can all just come from exactly the same place and still
end up somewhere different.
Yeah, completely different.
She's
Yeah.
bugging. Like, remove the door. Like, I heard people say like, oh yeah, like I've gotten my door removed before, and I've always thought that was crazy.
That's
Like,
borderline abusive, I think.
I
don't know.
For what she did as a 12-year-old Girl Scout, you removing her door?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's not like she's some unruly teenager, like doing whatever in your house, disrespecting it and all of that, where you need to remove her door. Because, like, otherwise they're going to do whatever they want behind that closed door. But she's a 12-year-old Girl Scout.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I think abusive is a strong word, but I feel like it's very like unnecessary. Like obviously her bedroom is her private place, and like for you to remove the door so that like it's open to whoever is passing by, it's just so degrading.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like it is complete. And then like obviously like there shouldn't have been a punishment. It should have more been like a compassionate sit down talk with her, like the sister was saying. So
the mom is going mad hard. Taking away books too. Like, I know like people do that as like a form of punishment, but I'm like, honestly, I'm not taking away my kids' books as a form of punishment. Like,
come on,
it's not that deep to me. Like, no, you can't watch TV, but read the book. Like, no, you're not that.
Yeah,
Your sister is like, she on 10 right now.
she lost it. She lost the plot.
She did lose the plot. She did. Somewhere along the way, she lost the plot. Like,
my girlfriend had been sending explicit photos to others while we were in the talking stage. So this one is not asking if they're the it's more of advice.
like them telling us their situation.
Yeah, but like immediately, yeah, she's wrong. Anyways.
Okay, go read it. I don't think so, but read it.
For context, I'm 17, male, and I've been dating this girl for about a week now. So the other day, I was at my girlfriend's house. We were talking, and she got a notification from a guy on Snapchat, and she went in the saved in chat section, where I saw that she'd been sending explicit photos to him while we were in the talking stage. To add to this, she slept with him 3 days after she came to see me. This was before we officially got together. Another thing I want to add is that she sent me a skimpy photo a while back, but I saw on her Snapchat as well that she sent the same picture to another guy as well. This is all in the back of my mind, bothering me a lot at the moment, and I need some advice on how to handle the situation. Update. Thanks for all the comments, guys. Was useful to get different perspectives on it. Spent some time evaluating what I wanted while skating. Ended things on a good note. Essentially told her I think she's a nice girl, but I don't want a relationship with her. Feeling a lot better now. Okay, so
No.
I feel like he's a bit young, but obviously when you start dating a person, it's the communication thing. Be very specific about what it is you're looking for, what it is we're doing at this stage in the relationship. Because I understand that, like, you don't have to be in a serious relationship to want to be exclusive with a person. So he should have made it clear that, okay, we're now dating. I don't want you talking to or doing certain things with other guys.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think she's wrong because he said himself that they weren't dating yet.
Yeah.
Until you're like, okay, we're exclusive or like we're dating / we're
serious.
I'm your girlfriend, you're my boyfriend, or vice versa. You're not anybody's girlfriend or boyfriend until you're somebody's girlfriend or boyfriend. Like, you go do you. Go do you. There's no... You can't be mad. That's the thing. You can't be mad because you're not together.
Yeah. And I feel like he's taking it too, like, this is the type of person that she is, and that's not necessarily true. Like, you know, he's like looking at her in a certain way. So
I would have saw my little recycled sexy pic, and I'd have been like, oh, okay.
I delete mines after a while, which I probably need to stop doing because I end up sending them again anyhow. So I should probably just say
keep a stash.
Yeah, I might as well. What has changed about me since I was like 11?
Oh, like, that is not true.
It's not, but you know. I'm cutting that out of the video.
Yo. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so you, like Jasmine said, you need to be specific and you need to be clear about what you want when you start something. Otherwise, you're gonna get your little feelings hurt.
Yeah, he's young. He's 17, so I feel like, you know, they don't get that until later on.
Get what?
Like the communication and like how the whole dating thing works.
All right, next one. Am I the for refusing to babysit my dad's fiance's kids during their wedding? Okay. My dad and his fiance, Kirsten, both late 30s, are getting married in January. Kirsten has 3 kids under 8. Dad has me, 17, male. My mom died 11 years ago. Kirsten's ex-husband is alive, but doesn't play a role in the lives of their kids, except child support, which is apparently taken from his income because he wasn't paying. Okay. Her kids don't remember their dad, and so Dad and Kirsten are hoping Dad will become their new dad. I met Kirsten 4 to 5 months ago and her kids around the same time, and given my age and the fact I did fine with just me and Dad, I'm not looking for Kirsten to fill any sort of maternal or motherly role. I also don't think I'll be engaging with Kirsten's kids as a sibling. This upsets her because she wanted me to be the cool older sibling for them and someone who might babysit on occasion, but mostly someone who'd make a point to spend time with them. But I'm not planning on spending too much time with them. I have plans for once I turn 18. My dad always knew this. So this has fed into the whole babysitting the kids during the wedding stuff. Kirsten says I won't be 18 when they get married, and I'll still be living with my dad. I should be willing to monitor her kids throughout the wedding. My dad admitted she's hoping it makes me a little more willing to be someone to her kids. I said no when I was initially asked, and I was clear with my no. Kirsten told me it wasn't like I was looking forward to the wedding anyway, so why not agree to babysit? She told me it would give me the chance to bond with her kids. I said no. Dad said he paid me to do it if I was agreeable to money for it. But then Kirsten was saying it would be hurtful if I wouldn't do it as a favor to my growing family. Dad told her it was expecting a little too much. She argued that if I'm there and still living with him, I should be willing, and that I seem so resistant to acting like a sibling that it's incredibly childish. There was some more back and forth about it. Kirsten got really pissed when I said it again, as clearly as I could, that I won't babysit during the wedding. Dad said he paid for a sitter, but Kirsten said I should really be more willing here. That Dad and I don't have an awful relationship, so why won't I give all this a chance and make the day less expensive and more of a happy memory for everyone? Am I the
No.
No, Kirsten's a
Yeah.
Kirsten is being a little whiny little twat.
Like when it comes to blended families, you can't force relationships. It's just like you asking him to do a favor and then expecting him to like do it willingly and happily. Like, no, don't expect that. And those are your kids.
Exactly.
Like, you should be responsible for them.
And
you knew when you were getting married, you should have planned this out a long time ago.
And it's not even that, because the dad said that he would either pay his son to babysit or pay for an actual babysitter. And she doesn't want to budge. She doesn't want to negotiate. She doesn't want to compromise. She wants the son to babysit. Like, that's crazy. So it's really not about the kids, like, babysitting. You just want him, like, you're forcing him to be a part of your life and your kid's life.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to be if he doesn't want to be.
Yeah. And it's just like relationships like that happen over time. It's just like you can, I feel like she's coming into someone else's family and she just wants it to be like a whole family.
Yeah, like
and for
she's
things
forcing shit.
as if like she was always there. She just wants things to blend, and like it doesn't work that way. Like, you know,
she's being too pushy.
Way too pushy.
Like, second of all, like, it's my dad's wedding. I'm not trying to babysit, bro. I'm not trying to babysit no kids. Like, I just want to
enjoy the day.
Yeah. Like, when I get married, and probably most of my guests will have kids, I'm going to hire a babysitter for the kids to be in a room somewhere.
Yeah.
Some babysitters, because no kids about to be cutting up at my wedding.
Absolutely not. The random screaming and crying, the running down the aisle,
the dancing on the dance floor, like playing around when
they
it's time
don't
for
really
the first dance.
Yeah,
like,
they play fight each
playing
other.
around.
Yeah.
Like, get the off my floor.
Yeah. I don't want, like, I need everything to go smoothly, and like kids don't they don't understand the situation.
Yeah,
like just not.
Y'all all gonna be in a room with a babysitter and some toys and TV.
Yeah.
And some kids meals.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Agreed.
But no, you're not the person is.
My sister slept with my now fiance, and I need advice.
Oh.
For context, I, Caitlin, 24 female, have a best friend, Lucas, 26 male. We've been best friends for years. My sister Ashley, 20 female, occasionally hung out with all of us. We would all hang out and do things together as friends. Fast forward 4 years. Me and my best friend Lucas developed feelings for each other, and it was undeniable that we were in love with each other at this point. We just had so much in common. Everyone we knew thought we were a couple way before this point. Kind of like an everyone knew except for us kind of thing. Well, considering we were all friends and I was very close to my sister, I, of course, go to her and tell her about it. She goes on to tell me that I shouldn't proceed and that it will mess up mine and his friendship. And how I know that he's never had a serious relationship and that he would probably hurt me emotionally. I, of course, listened to her advice, but feelings had already started at this point. So me and the best friend are hanging out, and he tells me, I want to make this official, I'm in love with you, etc. Then here comes the but. He proceeds to tell me that he had hooked up with my sister one time while slightly drunk, but it was purely physical, and that it didn't mean anything to either of them.
So that was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that he couldn't let the relationship go any farther without telling me this first. He also said that they, being friends, even talked about it afterwards and decided that it didn't happen and it would never happen again, and that she didn't want any of our friends to know about it. But since we were going to be serious, he had to tell me, and understood if I brought it up to my sister, even though she probably wouldn't be happy about me knowing. My sister had never told me anything about them sleeping together, and at this point she was now married to Tyler and had one son and a daughter. I still decided to go and talk to my sister. Decided not to say anything about the incident, but tell her how I really feel about our friend Lucas. She said if you are in love with him and you know he feels the same way and is not using you, go for it. But like I said, the feelings were strong and I couldn't help how I felt about the guy. So I was in deep before we even made it official. I decided to let it go since it had been years and I absolutely loved Lucas. We had been in a relationship for 4 months and I found out I was pregnant with our daughter.
Oh,
we are
that was
over
fast.
We are over the moon excited. This is both of our first child. So we go over to my mom's house where my family is to tell them the great news. They all act excited and she's happy to be a new aunt. Fast forward to now, and I'm being almost 9 months pregnant, and anytime I go around my sister, she acts naughty as if my now fiance and her have some secret that I don't know about.
She acts what?
Snotty.
Oh, okay.
She acts flirty around him now when she never did before. Like, this is so out of character for her. She had been fine through the whole part of our relationship up until now. I don't get it. No, I didn't say anything to her about him telling me, but it's only because I didn't want a bunch of drama started. And I figured since it had been years before and she was now married, it wasn't a big deal. It's not the first guy she's casually slept with. And quite honestly, if I had to find a guy she hadn't slept with, I'd be single forever. Only being honest, not mean about it.
That's you being messy, not being honest. But go ahead.
But what do? I want my sister in our life and our kids' life. I just need advice, Reddit. Am I the I mean, I didn't know they had sex once before I fell in love with him. We have been friends for years.
Are you the for what though? Like,
I don't think
like,
she's the I just think it's a weird situation and she's not sure like how to handle it. I would have been open from the jump and been like, I know you and Lucas had sex in the past and that you guys both moved on from it. Me and him are now in love and want to be in a relationship and start our lives together.
But she didn't know until they were going into a
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When Lucas had that conversation with her, she should have then had it with her sister, but she never told her sister that she knew. So now, first of all, the sister is wrong for like acting flirty and weird around Lucas when, first of all, she's married, and second of all, that's your sister's fiance.
Why? My thing is, I can't believe her sister didn't tell her.
Yeah.
That she slept with her best friend. Like, that doesn't seem like a secret.
Yeah. I don't know, but not all sisters are the same because I know, like, me and my sister are close.
She said they're close. She said they're really close.
Not me forgetting what I just read. I don't think she's the I think she.
But what would she be the for doing?
I don't know. For thinking that her sister is weird.
Yes, I don't know. She's moving funny.
She is
moving funny. Like, you're being flirty with my man. Number one, you have a relationship. Respect yourself and your relationship.
2 kids in that relationship.
You not happy, Mom?
But yeah, I feel like a conversation needs to be had because, like,
you also need to ask your husband, like, is there anything that I need to know about?
Yeah, because it's giving like, I don't know.
I'm your man on the low.
Yeah.
Mercy.
Like, I know something you done. It's giving like she wants like to be this special person where like her and Lucas, have this secret, have this thing where like, oh, their relationship is not that special, but like, Lucas was open and honest and told her everything.
Yeah.
And they seem to really be in love. And I find it weird that like the sister is now acting weird when they're engaged and she's 9 months pregnant. Like, it's just a weird situation.
It is.
All right, on to the next.
Am I the for telling my friend that I'm not a spoiled brat? She just has daddy issues. Okay. I just went back to school this week, and on the first day back, I forgot my project that I was supposed to hand in. I had it prepared and put in the back of the seat of the car, but I completely forgot to take it with me when I got out. I suddenly remembered it at lunchtime, and I asked my dad if he could drive back to school so I could get it, and he agreed. Drive from my house to school is around 15 minutes, and my dad's job only has a 4-day work week, so he was completely free. One of my friends kept on going on and on about how I'm such a spoiled brat, saying that she could never dream of having her dad dropping everything because of her mistake. Her dad walked out on her as a kid. and her stepdad is an awful person. I asked her to just drop it, but she doubled down. I eventually snapped and told her that I'm not a spoiled brat just because I don't have daddy issues like her. She bursted out crying, saying I crossed the line, and she has been ignoring me since then. Am I that?
No.
And it's let her ignore you because, bitch, you're jealous.
Yeah.
You're jealous I have a dad and you don't. Like, that's what it is.
She was being rude first because you asked her to stop and she didn't. She kept going, talking about how you're spoiled. And that's not spoiled. Like, you forgot your project in the back of your dad's car.
And
like,
your dad is being a parent. Like, he's
doing what he's supposed to do.
You could never dream of having your dad bring you your schoolwork because you don't have one to bring you your schoolwork. That's why you could never dream about it. But yeah, she's jealous because she wants a father figure. Like, she wants a dad. Her stepdad isn't shit. Like, she doesn't, her dad walked out. That's what it is. That's literally what it is.
Yeah. Not the
No.
Also, don't give what you can't take, because if you're gonna call someone a spoiled brat because their parents take care of them, and then like someone else tells you that you have daddy issues because your bio dad walked out and your current stepdad is a terrible person, like, you know, like you can't.
You did all that. You going on, and then look who's crying.
Right.
Like, yeah, y'all don't let people make you feel bad about your parents being parents. They wish they had parents.
Okay. Am I the My girlfriend sleeps all the time and I called her selfish for doing so.
Oh my gosh, go ahead.
My girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years. Truthfully, our relationship is great. We rarely argue about anything. The only consistent argument in our relationship is about her sleeping habits. Important for context, she isn't lazy. She has a busy job, busy social life, goes to the gym, and we often do things together. My issue is we regularly disagree with her sleeping pattern. When we were at university, it was fine. Now it's just bizarre. Here are some examples. She goes to bed around 11 p.m., gets up at 7 a.m. Normal amount of sleep. Any journey, plane, car journey, train, if she is not traveling alone, she will have a quick nap. Regardless of how long the journey is, she will sleep most of it. Regularly returns from work and has a nap for an hour. Works from home 2 days a week and uses her lunch hour to sleep. Gets up very late every weekend, regardless of what time she's gone to sleep, and will regularly also nap. I understand she may be tired, and I have understood this over the years. My is that this has been bothering me for some time, which I have mentioned. Yesterday, we returned home from a trip away. I do all the driving, as she only drives roads she knows. I also don't mind. It was a 6-hour journey I had also made on Friday. I asked her to please not sleep the entire time, as it would be good to chat, etc. 5 minutes in, she was asleep. I woke her up when we arrived home. She apologizes for sleeping. I called her selfish. Am I the Yes.
I don't think he's an
Really?
I don't.
Okay, tell me.
I don't. Like,
tell me why not.
True, like, I do think, like, she's, you can't really be mad at somebody for, like, sleeping, but, like, she sleeps a lot. Like, but you always napping.
But I do too.
But that's different. Like, that's, like, you're gonna be napping all the time, like her with your man. Like, you...
Okay, like, but here's where I think...
Every single time you napping, I turn around and you're napping, bro.
Here's why I think he's the It's the way he approached it. Like, you don't have a right to call her selfish for that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She probably thinks that the amount of time that she sleeps is justified. Mm-hmm. But bring it up and be like, the amount of time that you sleep is actually kind of weird. You know, it could be due to mental health issues. Mm-hmm. It could be a diet issue. It could be something that's wrong with her health. Mm-hmm. Why she's sleeping more than necessary. So to call her selfish, I feel like that's like...
I think he's fed up though.
Yes, he has a right to be annoyed and he has a right to be fed up. but it's just that snapping at her. Why are you being mean to this person that you love and care about?
My thing, I would probably snap too. He said 5 years. 5 years is a very long time to be nasty.
You first of all, you wouldn't snap.
And you were already with her. I wouldn't snap.
Okay, but think about it if it was your boyfriend. Wouldn't you just bring it up to him, like, what's going on here?
I would.
Every time we hang out, you're sleeping.
It sounds like he has already.
He hasn't.
It sounds like he did. Because
he didn't, though.
He said...
Where in there did it say that? It didn't say that.
It didn't. But it also didn't say that she had problems either. She just...
I feel like you're taking it personally.
I'm not.
I feel like
I take it personally.
I don't know how. I just think I'm wrong. I just think I'm right. I just think I'm right because, like, I don't know. I'm a sleepy girl too, and it's just like, okay, if I'm taking too many naps and you want me to spend time with you so that we can build in our relationship, say that. Don't snap at me. Don't call me selfish because, like, obviously she's not doing it intentionally. She's not intentionally trying to avoid him.
But he asked her, and from undergrad, he said he was cool with it. Now they've been together for 5 years. He said, I asked her, it's a 6-hour ride. Can you not fall asleep? This is why Jesus was mad. They cannot stay away from him.
Okay, no.
I'm not preaching. I asked you for, like, can you not, this is a 6-hour ride, can you, like, stay up with me so we can chat? 5 minutes in, you fall asleep?
Okay,
you can even wait a little bit?
But then, when you get home, be like, okay, this is an actual problem because I asked you to stay awake this time and you couldn't. So what is going on here? Because it could, once again...
He does need to have a conversation with her.
He shouldn't have just, like, outright been like, oh, you're selfish. You know what I'm saying?
But for 5 years, you've been...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You've been holding that for 5 years.
Okay, but it's on him for not bringing it up.
That's true.
He should have bring it up year one.
That's true.
He should have been like, what's the problem here? She probably needed to see a doctor 5 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if you doing that, like, something you do need to see a doctor, whether it's like narcolepsy, whether you're having, like, you literally just can't stay up, whatever it is, you do need to see a doctor. But him saying, oh, I asked her not to, I feel like he did bring it up, like why do you sleep so much?
I don't think he did.
Or can you not sleep so much?
And you know what? Reddit thinks he's an and so do I, because it's just like you don't you don't speak like that to someone that you care about.
That's true.
I would have asked from the beginning, why are you sleeping so much? I want to spend time with you. Every time I turn my head, you're asleep. What is going on? What is going on? I wouldn't just be like, can you stay awake? And then when she can't handle it, oh, you're selfish. She's been this way.
Can you stay awake?
But like when she falls asleep after 5 minutes, I wouldn't like, you know what I'm saying? I would be concerned. First of all, and then it's like 5 years y'all been together. Once again, you should have brought it up from week one. So for you to not have said anything, you said the relationship was going great.
That is a really long time.
Yeah, he said we never had any problems, and then out of the blue, oh, you're selfish. Like, no, you're the
holding that.
That's not how you communicate. You don't hold on to things, and then when you're fed up, then you want to bring it up. Like, be nice. This is someone that you care about. Like, I take naps all the time. Like, just tell me you want to spend time with me then. Like,
he did.
No, he didn't.
He did. He literally did.
He asked her if she can stay awake so that we can chat
and spend time together.
Then, okay, but then she couldn't handle it because she fell asleep. She fell asleep immediately. Okay, I'm right.
I know he was driving. Was like,
okay, it's on him for holding it in. He should have never held that in.
You can't. That's too long for you to be stewing over something that's actually bothering you. Like, sitting on that for 5 years, that's just...
Who told you to do that?
That turns into resentment. Like, that's too long.
Yep. And also, yeah, this whole time he was resenting her, and she didn't even know there was a problem. She was just taking her little naps.
And he was just watching her nap, like...
Exactly. Because I know if the relationship is good, like, obviously she cares about him too. And if she knew that he was upset about something, she would obviously, do something about it.
You can't assume that.
Yes, I can from what he wrote.
If we can assume that, then we can assume that he has brought it up to her.
Okay, no, we can't. We can't. Okay, we can't assume anything. Let me see if there's like an update or anything.
Right. Any update?
No, they're all saying, I'm reading the comments, and they're all basically saying that, like, he's the asshole, and that, like, a lot of us take naps like that too. We're not all full of energy like you.
I'm not full of energy, but I'm not gonna be napping. I be tired, but I'm not gonna be napping on a 6-hour ride. That like at least 5 minutes is crazy. 5 minutes is crazy.
But I feel like that's still concerning for you to like for him to approach it from an angry like point of view. First of all, 6 hours. She was asleep for 6 hours. That's concerning. Because even if 5 minutes in I had fallen asleep, 2 to 3 hours later I would have been up again. Mm-hmm. So like, what do you mean? Every time we travel, she's asleep the entire time? That's concerning.
She does need to see somebody. Girl,
she does.
If you out there and you just happen to see this,
yeah,
please go to the doctor and let us know what's up.
That sleeping all the time and being extremely
Like
tired.
narcolepsy, though.
It can also be due to like health issues. Yeah. Whether mentally or physically. Mm-hmm. So it could be something else is wrong that's making her tired. Yeah. And that could just be a symptom. So. Well. Yeah, I just don't like the way he approached it. Like, be nice.
Mm-hmm. Next one. Am I the for blowing up at my mother-in-law at a family dinner? Throwaway account since my husband is an active Reddit user.
You didn't need to add that.
No, I like that. It adds a little bit of spice.
Yeah, okay.
She gotta go undercover. Like, I, 23 female, have been married to my husband, 24 male, for 3 years. We were high school sweethearts and have been best friends since elementary school. Aww. He's still my best friend to this day. I've never had a great relationship with his mom. She's difficult to talk to, and our conversations are usually very shallow, gossiping about neighbors, complaining about landscapers, etc. Almost a year ago, my mom passed away, which still feels surreal to write. She truly was my soulmate, and I'm incredibly grateful to have had her in my life for 23 years. I miss her more than words can describe. My husband's family really stepped up during that time, supporting us financially with funeral costs and managing affairs when I was deep in grief. I'm genuinely grateful for their help. Fast forward to now, we're expecting our first baby. As excited as I am, I'm also deeply saddened that my mom won't be here to guide me through this. We always talked about what my kids would call her. We settled on Grams. Now to the incident. We were celebrating our pregnancy at a dinner with my in-laws, and my mother-in-law asked me to make a toast. She laughed and said, "I'm so grateful to celebrate a new addition to our family. We can't wait to meet little Veronica," which is her name. She went on to talk about her own pregnancy and what I should expect, mentioning that my husband had an abnormally big head when he was born. Then she said, "I look forward to being the favorite grandma to Veronica, since of course I'll be the only grandma." Nasty. That's very nasty. That's very nasty for you to say. The room went silent. I started to cry. I stood up and I told her how incredibly insensitive it was to say that, and that my mom would always be a grandmother, whether she's here or not. You tell her. She responded by saying I was overreacting and that it was just a joke. I told her to go to hell and left immediately. My husband later called me saying he spoke to his mom, who was in tears because she was embarrassed. She asked him to apologize on her behalf, and he told me I should have come back instead of telling her to go to hell and storming off. I'm currently staying with my sister and haven't stopped crying since. She supports me 100%, but I really want to know, am I the
No,
your mother-in-law ain't
And
you didn't do enough. You didn't do enough. Like, I would have carried on her old ass.
First of all, she's pregnant. She probably couldn't do more.
I don't give a you gonna hear my mouth more than like go to no. Yeah. Like, you crusty old like, no.
Yeah, no, she was absolutely wrong for that. I'm actually upset at the husband for
I'm like, it should have been you, not my mom. It should have been you. Like,
yeah. I'm upset with the husband for not standing up for her. Yeah. It's like, I understand that that's your mother, but this is your wife.
I'm your wife now, and I'm carrying your baby.
Yeah.
Like, you have to pick a side. Yeah. I don't do that picking side shit, but no. Like, your mother is a nasty woman. Like,
you shouldn't be
supposed
okay
to be behind me, backing me up. I'm pregnant, and my mom is dead. Like,
you shouldn't be okay with anyone speaking to your wife that way, regardless of who they are.
mm-hmm.
Like, that's just not okay.
And she knew what she was doing. She was trying to be funny. Like, she knew that wasn't appropriate. And then you don't even give me an apology, like, yourself. You're telling my husband to relay the message.
Yeah, I don't like that he was like, oh, she shouldn't have yelled and she shouldn't have ran away. She absolutely should have done more.
If I didn't run, you should have been glad I ran away crying, because if I didn't, I would have been on your ass. They would have just now been getting me off.
And it's not like she could fight back, because, like, to fight a pregnant lady, no.
Yeah, I'm cracking, like, y'all ever seen Why Did I Get Married, when Sheila cracked the bottle over Mike's head? That's what I would have been doing to his mom. I wouldn't have, but still, like,
I feel like she wanted the attention to be on her, and I hate parents like that. Like, just stop.
That was grossly inappropriate.
Very much.
She just went in the ground. Like, she just died.
It doesn't matter how long ago it was, too.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it's recent, though,
yeah,
and you're doing that.
Yeah. Okay. On to the next.
No, you're not gonna.
Mother says I'm ruining my life by having another baby. Need advice.
Mother says I'm ruining my life.
So, I'm a young mom and I had my first child back in April 2022. My mother didn't agree with that pregnancy and made it very hard on me the first time around, but I moved in with my partner once that happened and we've been living together ever since. I found out I was pregnant again not too long ago, and she's saying that I'm ruining my life and that I should have just stayed with my one child and given him all the love until he was old enough. This second pregnancy wasn't planned at all, but she used to constantly threaten to stop speaking to me if I ended up pregnant again. Again, I don't live with her, I live with my partner. I wanted to wait a couple of years before having my second, but it's here now, so what can I do? She's basically saying I'm ruining my life and how kids ruin lives and how I won't be successful having to provide for two.
First of all, kids ruin lives. You trying to say something, Mom?
Yeah.
Like, you trying to...
That's what I was thinking. I'd
have been being like, wait, what?
So you're saying I ruined your
life? Are you
life?
trying to...
Like, you're saying you didn't want to have me?
Like, what you trying to say right now? Like, what?
I think if you're happy, then it's not ruining your life. Some people just want to be a parent, you know? Some people just want to be with their kids.
How old is she?
Want to... let me pull it back up. If she doesn't want to do anything else with her life and she's content, then... She didn't say her age. She just says, I'm a young mom. And then also, like...
Well, you live with your partner.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. Like, you're not depending on your mom for money or anything like that. So...
Your mom sounds very disappointed with you, though. But I don't think you should care at all.
Yeah.
The baby's there. It's here already. Like, you already have, like, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
So,
have your baby and carry on.
Don't put too much stock into what your mom tells you, because you ruined her life. So, I don't really think. Yeah. No, you're not that.
Yeah. I was gonna say that, like, the mom just wants what's best for her, but that's still no.
The mom wants what's best for the mom, like what she wanted.
Yeah. She probably never wanted to settle down and have kids. She probably wanted to work, and she didn't get the chance to choose. But that's not on you.
Yeah, have your baby, girl. Have your baby. Next one. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law the world doesn't revolve around her and her kids? I, female, 33, am a mother of 2. The other day was my son's 5th birthday, and my husband and I threw a party at our home. The party has caused a bit of a rift between me and my husband's twin sister, Eve, female, 36. Eve and I don't have much in common, and usually I only see her during the holidays and special occasions. She and my husband are not particularly close either. For context, Eve has 3 kids, ages 9, 5, and 2. A few days before the party, Eve messaged me that she may not go because it will be during her youngest nap time. She won't go to that party. I told her that her kid is more than welcome to sleep at our home, and we can put her in our youngest's bed. Eve said she would think about it, but that she probably will not come. Eve didn't message me or my husband again, so we assumed she was not coming. But she did turn up on the day. Like 5 minutes after she arrived, she asked if the bed was set up for her youngest, and I explained we weren't expecting them, so I'll need a few minutes to get it ready. Eve asked me if we don't keep our kids' bedrooms tidy, which really irritated me. Eve's daughter slept fine. She did fuss a bit waking up, but at least the nap time issue was solved. She saw the cake we had for our son, which was hidden in our kitchen, so he wouldn't see it before it was time to blow out the candles. She said that her kids will not eat that kind of cake. It was lemon cake, if that matters. It does. Why the fuck would you buy a lemon cake for her birthday? But I know that a lot of kids probably aren't keen on lemon cake. You're messy. Okay. But it's what my son likes.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's
if it's
fine.
what his son likes, it's his birthday. He can have his cake.
I told Eve that we did have some candy in our kitchen that her kids could have, so that they don't feel left out of having a treat. They ended up leaving abruptly before we got the cake out and only said bye to my husband. Then they came back with chocolate cupcakes from the corner shop before we'd done cake and candles for my son. They were only gone for maybe 20 to 30 minutes and started serving them to their kids. This caused some of the younger kids at the party to start fussing because they wanted cupcakes too, and there wasn't enough to go around. Nobody want to eat that nasty lemon cake. But
it's not just that. I feel like Eve is the problem.
No, I'm saying the kids are crying because nobody wants to eat that nasty lemon cake.
No, but kids are that way with everything. Once they see that someone else has something, they want it too.
A nasty lemon cake.
I'm talking about the chocolate cupcakes.
Well, yeah, they want the chocolate cupcakes because it's a lemon cake.
No, that's not why. With kids, it's like once they see other kids have something, they want it too. You don't go to a party and be like, only you and you can have pizza and no one else can have pizza. That's just rude.
That is rude, but I'm saying they didn't want that nasty cake.
Okay, Charisma, we get it. No one does.
That's what I'm saying.
That's on Eve because it's just like, if you were going to go get chocolate cakes, you get chocolate cakes for everyone.
I would have done that, but clearly Eve is not a nice Like, I don't expect much from her. She just dissed you when it was time to put her kid down for nap, talking about your house is dirty.
Right.
So, like, I don't expect much from Eve.
Okay, let's finish the story.
But she started serving them to their kids. This caused some of the younger kids at the party to start fussing because they wanted the cupcakes too, and there wasn't enough to go around. Eve also repeatedly connected her phone to our Bluetooth speakers to play music without asking us when we already had music playing. She's rude. I asked her to stop because it was just making the house sound like a mishmash of music, and she said that I'm being a grump. I guess that was the last straw that broke the camel's back for me, and after the party I told her that the world doesn't revolve around her and her kids. She called me selfish and said that I need to lighten up. She and her family quickly left. My mother-in-law and father-in-law were still at our house, which made things quite awkward. Eve has been giving my husband the cold shoulder since, and I'm wondering if I'm that.
No, she's not.
You're not that. She don't respect you or your house at all.
At all. It's just like, and the lemon cake thing too. If my son says he likes lemon cake, then he's having lemon cake.
That's what we're having.
That's that.
And I think, to me, it's so petty that she left to go get chocolate cupcakes and came back to eat the chocolate cupcakes at the house. Yeah. You could have just, sing happy birthday and leave, and you and your kids go get the chocolate cupcakes by yourself. You came back because you wanted to show her, like, oh yeah, me and my kids have chocolate cupcakes. Like, what?
Right.
Like, she's rude. She's rude, and she would not be invited or welcome back to my house ever again.
And those little passive aggressive those passive aggressive comments, oh, you don't keep your kids' room tidy. Like, no. You don't call ahead when you're coming to someone's house. Like,
because you never give a response back. Like,
and sometimes too, it's not even that the room is a mess, but like when guests come over, you know, you want to put on clean bed sheets.
Yeah, you have to clear it.
Yeah, and things like that. It's just like, you know, spray some air freshener or something just to make it more comfortable for them. And so like
that would have, I'm not gonna lie, that would have pissed me off so bad.
Yeah, I would have been like, okay, well, y'all don't have to stay in there then.
Yeah,
you don't have to stay in there then.
That would have pissed me off so. I'm already planning my son's birthday. I got to. You talking about some? Oh, you don't keep your house tidy. You can, for real, go back home. You can go back home. I don't even with you for real. Like, but no, you're not the. You're not the.
Yeah, she's not. And then like giving the husband the cold shoulder. Eve is the husband's sister.
Mm-hmm, twin sister.
Yeah.
And she also said they weren't close to begin with anyway.
Yeah. That's like her just being who she is. That has nothing to do with like
the whole situation.
Yeah. That's just her being who she is. It's unfortunate though. Like imagine having a twin and they're just like an absolute like, come on.
No, you're not invited back to nothing. You will not be invited back to my son's or any of my child's.
Yeah. It's like
birthday parties or any functions. No.
My nieces and nephews, I always look out for them.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't come back. Your kids can call me.
Yeah.
You cannot.
There's nothing to say after that. It's nothing to say.
Absolutely nothing. All right. One more?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any more.
Last one. Yeah. I know, I saw it. Okay, last one. Am I the asshole for telling my cousin she can't run off to do her own thing when she was late to dinner on my bachelorette trip? Throwaway. This kind of blew up into a bigger thing, and my sister said I should post on Am I the asshole? I'm 30 female, getting married soon, and went to New York for my bachelorette trip recently. There were 8 of us, including my cousin Haley, 33 female, who's one of my bridesmaids. We were only there for a couple of days, and there were a few different things we wanted to do. Also, I only asked people pay for their flight and hotel share. I paid for everything else. I made early dinner reservations for everyone on our last night, and we were going somewhere else after. Haley mentioned that day she wanted to go visit a cemetery to pay her respects. Edit, it was to visit her late husband. I said okay, but to be back in time to go to dinner. I made the reservations for 5, and it was already 4:30, but Haley wasn't back at the hotel. A couple of us called, but she didn't pick up, and she sent a text saying she was running late and she would meet us at the restaurant. She ended up coming close to 6. I talked to her later about being so late and managing her time better. Haley made an excuse, but I replied this was supposed to be a girl's trip, not so she can go run off to do her own thing without thinking of anyone else. She got pretty upset, and we flew back the next day, but she kept quiet, and my sister said she saw her crying. I did text her later, but she left it on scene. My sister thinks I shouldn't have said that to her, but a couple of the other girls agree Haley shouldn't have been late. Am I the Yes, you are.
It sounds like Haley going through something.
Yeah, because like if my friend told me that her husband passed away and she's going to visit the gravesite to like pay her respects, like that's her husband. Imagine the love of your life.
But I also want to know, is she like, did she come on a trip to like pay her respects, or I'm confused actually. They went to a bachelorette trip in New York.
A girl's trip.
They all of them live somewhere else besides New York.
I don't know, but it just says like. Because she's saying that they had to pay for their plane tickets and stuff like that. So I don't know how her husband is in New York.
Yeah, I'm confused at that because like, did you come on the bachelorette trip to see your husband? Like,
no, I think she went to celebrate with a friend. But if I lived in another state and like I knew I was going to be in the state where my husband was buried, I would take some time to visit his grave. But I feel like it's kind of inconsiderate to like be upset with her because first of all, she said ahead of time where she was going to be and she let everyone know. And then like it's just dinner. Like, it's not a business meeting. It's not, it's not the wedding day itself. It's not any, like, big event. It's just you guys wanted to go to this restaurant and, like, have a good time. And so, like, I feel like it's okay for her to show up late to that.
I wouldn't have been mad about that.
Yeah, it's not something to be mad about.
It's not, like, yeah.
She told you where she was going. You guys said all
know
right.
where she's at. It's like a cemetery. So,
yeah.
That's not something I would be mad at.
And then, like, once she realized she was running late, she also let them know that. And she told them that she'd meet them at the restaurant so that they wouldn't have to wait on her. So I think she did everything she could on her part.
I really don't think that's something you should be mad at. And literally, if that's the only thing she did on that trip to make that a bad trip, then, like, you're bugging. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, I think people get carried away with, like, the whole, like, wedding being about them and things like that. And it's just like, yes, it's about you, but you can still be, like, considerate of your friends. Your friends don't have to show up for you. They don't have to be there. Like, they're doing a kindness because they want to celebrate this important event in your life. And I feel like she just got carried away.
And it's like, I just want to visit my late husband's grave. Like,
right.
I didn't cause you any inconvenience.
Yeah, the festivities continued without her. So obviously she didn't ruin anything.
And like you said, it's just a dinner. Like,
yeah.
Was that the whole bachelorette trip? Just the dinner? Yeah, heading back? But yeah, you're that. Yeah, girl.
Okay, that was our last story. Thanks so much for hanging out with us guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Yeah.
If you got a story that you want us to react to, send it to us and we'll react to it.
Yeah, you can start sending us messages on Instagram or TikTok and we'll respond. So, yeah, thanks so much, especially if you made it to the end, and we'll see you in the next one.
Later.
Bye.